Hi, I'm Dr. Robert D. McDonald. Reverend Dr. Luzette McDonald and I, my wife and I, we've created the Telos Healing Center, and I've created the Destination Method. I want to speak to you a little bit today again about painful memories and how to resolve painful memories because it's so important. It's a human condition. Worldwide, people have painful memories, and basically they don't know what to do about it. There seems to be no resolution to painful memories. There's a diagnosis called post-traumatic stress disorder. There seems to be no resolution for this, but it's not true. There is a resolution for this. We can resolve painful memories. Just to let you know, one example, I worked with a man in 2008, I think it was when I worked with him. He had been in Vietnam about 38 years before I met him. And in Vietnam, he was involved in a firefight and his legs were blown off. So he had no legs. And he survived this particular trauma. He came to see me because he was involved in a class where I was teaching people how to resolve trauma. He volunteered. I had it videotaped. In fact, that was intended to help him resolve his trauma as well as to document what had gone on. Turns out that when he was in Vietnam, about 1970, I think he was in Vietnam. I happened to have been in the military prior to that. I was in the U.S. Army from 1966 to 1969, so he trusted me that I knew something about the military and that I could have some compassion and understanding about what he was going through, and that I knew what I was doing, which was to help him resolve his painful memory. He told me the story that he was walking point with his platoon and stepped on a mine, and it blew up his legs, and he had to go to the hospital. They thought he was going to die. The priest came to give him the last rites. He said, "I'm not going to die," and he didn't die. He then went to Walter Reed Hospital. He was then able to survive that. When I saw him many years later, he was unable to sleep the entire night. In fact, he would wake up about every 2 hours. He had to take 4 different kinds of pain-killing medications every night in order to sleep at all because he had pain in the legs that he no longer possessed. It's called phantom pain. He didn't have feet, he didn't have legs, but he had pain in those feet and pain in those legs that he didn't have. It's called phantom pain. He wanted to resolve that, and he also wanted to resolve the memory of all that he'd been through. I worked with him for approximately half an hour, maybe 45 minutes, helping him to rearrange the memory that he had. What this means in a simple metaphor is that it was as though he had been stung by a bee. And every time, if you have a stinger in your skin, if every time you touch that stinger on your arm, it will hurt unless you remove the stinger. If you remove the stinger, then the body gets a chance to heal and you can touch that area of your body and it no longer hurts. Well, his memory of this painful event that happened in Vietnam many years before was still painful. It was still upset. His memory was upsetting him. He needed to be able to think of that memory and no longer have any emotional upset about it at all. He didn't think that was possible. In fact, many people think, well, the only way for that to be possible is to have amnesia, as though it never happened. But amnesia is not a healthy state. He really did go to Vietnam, and he really did have this terrible thing happen to him. So remembering it was important so that he could talk about it and share with other people. Well, we did the work. A particular kind of work, which is the Destination Method's trauma resolution process, and in fact, he no longer had that the pain in his legs. He could sleep at nighttime. He didn't have to take the medication. All things changed for him. We were very, very happy about that. He then decided that he wanted to teach everybody how to do it. He went to the U.S. Army. He said, "Listen, let me back in again." He says, "I have no legs, but let me back in again. You don't even have to pay me. Just let me back, because I want to then help other men who have these terrible traumas." And because he had no legs, he would be very believable. Well, the U.S. Army didn't let him back in. He didn't get a chance to do that, but he helped many, many people in his life, and I'm very proud to have known him. Luke Lucas, a wonderful man. And I'm glad to have shared this with you, and I hope that you get a chance to watch some more videos and learn more about the Destination Method.